Farrah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Remember, I love you, and it's going to be all right. Little firefall, circa, 75, 76, 77. Soft rock with a tiny uptick, Maybe the first time you kissed the gal in the back seat of the station wagon. It was during firefall. Maybe it was not. Friday edition, officially now getting everything out. The vacay is come. It is gone. It's time to settle back in. And I got to tell you, on this Friday, I am feeling a tremendous amount of love. This city right now is spinning. You got a Jaguars football game in less than 48 hours. It's all there right ahead of you. You win, you're in. You win, you host. You may not like your opponent, but guess what? You got to play whoever the schedule says you have to play. And today I was bragging about the Jaguars, did a little bit of math, took out the old school calculator. And I looked at the fact that a year ago, the Jaguars, that paltry offense, gave you 18.8 a game. I mean, that's criminal. This year, 27-1. So let's do it here. That's a difference of 8.3 points a game. A touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and some change. A game. Defensively, they have shaved here. All right? Key word. During the hockey playoffs, no one shaves. I don't know if they shave during the NFL. I've never asked that question. I think offensive linemen, maybe some guys down in the ditch will put away the razor. I think skill position guys, certainly divas like wide receivers, they're absolutely going to whip out the blade and cut the whiskers. But shave is the key word that you use when you talk about eliminating points defensively. Last year, Jacksonville, ladies and gentlemen, they gave you 25.6 a game. They didn't give it to you. They gave it to their opponents. That was 27th in the NFL. This year, 20.6, all right? A difference of 5 a game. That's 8.3 plus 5. 13.3 points a game? A difference in the 16 that they have played? Think about that. That is absolutely enormous. I know Dylan and I had a long conversation about this before the start of the year, and I think we came up with maybe 7. Could they get the 7 both ways? Could you improve that offense? And I think I was somewhere along the lines of going from 18.8 to maybe, 22.8, maybe 23, and then defensively go from 25.6. Could you take a couple of points off that, maybe be in the 23-point range? And that would be considered certainly a massive improvement considering how many games they lost last year by 1 possession. Well, this game, in this situation this year is turned where they're winning those games. They've also really blown out their opponents as of late. Frankly, it's been staggering what the Jaguars have been able to do during this, 7-game win streak, as I just talked about with Hayes and Hacker. I mean, allowing only 15 points a game in the last 7 and scoring more than 32 points a game during this 7-game win streak. But the reason why I mentioned that is, I thought it was a feel-good Friday, and come on, Ballou, glass half full, come after us with good information, with a lot of love, and I did, and one of the first responses I got was, hey, Ballou, you're not allowed to compare this year's data to last year's data because the Jaguars are playing a much easier schedule. And I was like, damn, man. Some of these people out there, it doesn't matter what the situation is, they're just going to think of a way to contradict, think of a way to go against, think of a way to criticize. So there you have it. There maybe is some truth to that. You know what, though? In a year, That'll change, but screw a year. I mean, you got a big one coming up this weekend. Next year, it appears all you got to do is win, right? And you get that first place schedule that'll be coming up in 2026. And, I really don't think anything will be completely out of the ordinary this weekend compared to what we saw Wednesday night and then again last night during the college football playoffs, which I am going to get to here momentarily. I mean, just absolutely insane as to what we were able to see. First off, the first thing I'll come, Indiana's freaking scary. That is a scary football team. And I just cannot blurt out the sentence, Indiana Hoosiers national champion. I can't say it. I mean, I just can't. It's not like those, Ohio State Buckeyes who refuse to mention the name Michigan, and they'll say that school up north and this and that. It's like, it was part of the Woody Hayes, I don't care if it's a son or daughter. I don't care if it's wanted or, it was a mistake. I don't care if you were our first, middle, or last. You will never say Michigan as long as you are living in my dwelling. And that's what many believe. It's not that. It's not that I refuse to say it. It's like I just have trouble saying it. The tongue struggles. Indiana, national champions. Mississippi, national champions. Oregon, national champions. What? I've been saying forever. And forever, and forever, and forever. Schools like this do not win championships. That leaves what? Miami. They haven't won it since, 2001? The last time the Hurricanes actually won a national title, right? Indiana's never won it. Oregon has never won it. Mississippi won Sparky's Meat and Tackle Shop national title back in 1960. It was given to them right there in the Grove, catty corner from the stadium. But anything of legitimacy has not worked out for Mississippi. So I'll let you, fill in the blanks here. Is it simply Ballou? Just shut up. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to the great sport of college football. Or is it welcome to the times? Welcome to the Wild Wild West. Welcome to the NIL and the transfer portal where you can just look at traditional blue bloods, see Georgia, see Ohio State, and they're not going to be a big part of this thing. Anyone now can get it done in any given year. It's still going to take some time to adjust to this, but I've got to give all the credit in the world to Mississippi, especially with Kirby Smart. I mean, Kirby Smart has replaced Nick Saban. Kirby Smart is going to get calls that no one else in college football gets. An egregious miss on that face mask that was not called last night. A very debatable pass interference call on, 2 during that drive where still Georgia unable to push it in. They had to settle for at the time, which was a game-tying field goal. So they were playing against the officials last night. And the end of that game was such a shame. And what a tragedy to end what was the greatest moment of Mississippi football ever, okay? And for the officials to have absolutely no clue. And again, there's always one out there, right? You know who that is, the one. He's like, well, what are you, down on the officials for actually doing their job? Come on. All right, whether it was a safety or not, the ball ran out with 0 time left. And I looked up every possible rule, every possible scenario when it comes to a onside kick. If you recover your own onside kick, the clock runs. The clock did not run in this case. They lateraled the ball 9 times. And again, you knew they weren't going to score. I knew they weren't going to score. But I just feel like this is the officiating once again putting themselves out there in front of everyone else with no recourse, with no opportunity to step in front of the media, or at least the entire media after the fact. I don't know. Maybe there was one pool reporter on the assignment who got to ask some questions. But listen, I'm not a Mississippi guy, okay? I mean, I'm the last thing from that. But there's respect, and there's about enjoying the moment. And you completely, absolutely took away what should have been magical and created another 5+ minutes of, animosity and uncertainty. And you know what? It's almost perfect. It's the way that college football is. It is just so messed up that the only thing that really would have been better is if Georgia scored. Think about that for a moment. I mean, you may be grabbing the steering wheel right now with both hands saying, how dare you sit up. Think about how screwed up everything would have been if Georgia scored in that situation. And again, that's not the way typically that fans think. It's over. Mississippi does advance. What a game that's going to be against Miami. Of course, we're going to get a rematch as well with Indiana and Oregon. It's going to be two great football games. But just ask yourself that. You knew it and I knew it. It was a complete farce, yet it happened. And it happened right in front of our face, and no one was able to do anything about it. Officiating can ruin you, okay? It ruined the Jaguars when Miles Jack wasn't down. Broadcasters are one thing, and I always get it. The broadcasters favoring this team, the broadcasters favoring that team. I don't think a broadcaster can affect the play on the field. I don't believe that. The only example would be, remember this, and this was actually when Florida State was relevant. Florida State had a long win streak years ago before they coughed up the ball like 4 or 5 times in the Rose Bowl against Oregon. It was Dalvin Cook's worst game, and I think it was the Jameis Winston goal line fumble. And Fowler, absolutely, and Dr. Herbie, they had to have had money on the Ducks, because I remember them saying, oh, my God, they got to check that. They got to check that. They got to go to instant replay. This was back, in what, 2014. Now it's like, so under the umbrella of being, hey, we got to look at this. Back then it was kind of new. It was relatively new, and there was still some uncertainty. I thought that might have been just a smidge of a situation where a broadcaster could actually affect something currently on the field. Maybe wrong. It ended up being the right call. What a broadcaster can affect is how voters think. And just go back to the propaganda that Joe Tessitore did, a couple of years ago. Look at Dr. Herbie and everyone else over at ESPN, what they did for Alabama, how they went overboard again this year for Alabama that just got rocked, just got destroyed when it did come to, their particular game, the biggest loss they've ever had. So I don't believe that a broadcaster can affect a game, but I do believe it can absolutely influence the way that people think moving forward. The referees, this is bad. This is bad, bad, bad business. And I still don't know if it happens in college football, if there's really going to be enough there. We saw it a few years ago in the NFL in New Orleans, that situation very late in the fourth quarter. It's interesting how that gets just a ton of pub to this day, but you're relying on the national media here, and 99.9% of them have no idea what we are talking about when we say Miles Jack was not down. I hate it with these officials. I do. Just call the game. Just be fair. And, we're always told they're graded. We're always told that they get raises or they get shown the door based on what they actually do out on the field. I find that hard to believe. I mean, it's really just far too underground as far as I am concerned. All right, so we have a lot to do. I'm dead wrong on this. Okay, college football was dead wrong. I've enjoyed my rants for decades, and it's been true for decades. You know who the last national champion is to win a title the first time? Florida. 1996. You know who it was prior to that? Florida State, 1993. If Mississippi or Oregon or Indiana wins it, they replace the two in this state. And you're going back 30 some odd years to actually talk about the last time that it happened. I deserve criticism for it. I got a tough chin. I know you're looking maybe at YouTube, you're saying, Ballou, you got a double chin. Okay, I don't have a glass jaw. I can take a punch, and frankly, I deserve to get hit after doing this, but I'm not going to run from it. I'm going to stay right there in the middle of the ring and take your swings. We are absolutely fired up tonight. Are you kidding me? This is a Friday night in Duval. There is no place, and I repeat, no place that I would rather be than at our plush studios on Bowden Road. Now, next week, how about some new eyes for you, huh? Santa, bring you new eyes. Did you get new eyes over the holidays? If not, schedule an appointment right now. Grab yourself an examination over at Shmunez Vision. 6:15 right now, it's pitch dark. Your eyes are fatigued. They're not nearly as strong as they were when you got up this morning. Just remember, okay, 2020, how cool would that be? Never having to look for your readers, never having to take out your contacts. Maybe you pass out on the lazy boy, you get up, they're stuck in your eyes. It's just very problematic. That is certainly selective, and that is something that can improve your life. You also may worry that you have something going on with your eyes that is dangerous. And why would you delay it? You're talking about 37 years worth of experience with Dr. Neil Shmunez, Catherine Shmunez, and Dr. John Hunt. So make sure you sign up today. Make yourself an appointment. They will take you through the examination. They're also the individuals, the doctors, I should say, who will provide the surgery for you. So go to Shmunez Vision. Also go to Instagram. Get everything there at Shmunez Vision. Fired up to hear from you tonight. It is our final edition before the regular season finale. And everything is right there for the taking against what I look at as a harmless, yet a team that has absolutely nothing to lose in Tennessee. I'm not saying they're going to take liberties, but it always concerns you when you take on a team like this that, again, frankly, has absolutely nothing to lose. They're trying to leave good tape for the 2026 season. Many of those players will be long gone, as we do know. Got plenty to do right here on this Friday night. Dylan Denmark is here. My name is Rick Ballou. We call it Into the Night.
Fill your game day with wall-to-wall football.
Football is everything I got. It's what I do.
On the Terminix Kickoff Show. Live from Tailgaters Park. Presented by American Electrical Contracting and Campione Law. 5 hours before kickoff on 1010XL.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
At Hollis Pools, building a pool is personal. We sit down with you, listen to your vision, and bring your backyard dreams to life right here in Northeast Florida. Working with us doesn't feel like working with a contractor. It feels like working with family. Every Hollis Pools project supports Project Savior Outdoors, helping bring hope to our veterans. Visit hollispools.com. Hollis Pools, your vision, your pool, your escape. License number CPC 1461233.
Flame Broiler, the Rice Bowl King, is turning up the flavor with new char wings. These wings are charbroiled, never fried, grilled to perfection for a big taste without the grease. Grab them as a 3-piece or 10-piece side, or make it a meal with a 6 or 8-piece combo, served with rice and a drink. Order pickup or delivery today from any of Flame Broiler's 5 Jacksonville locations, or call 904-619-2786. Flame Broiler. Bold flavor done right.
Learn everything you need to know about the Jaguars on Duval Rundown. I'm Hayes Carlyon. Join me each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 9:04. You can find Duval Rundown on all the social channels of 1010XL.
Driven by Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Hey guys, if you messed up by getting her a robot vacuum cleaner for Christmas, Beard's Diamonds can get you out of the doghouse. Now through New Year's weekend, you can still get that stunning piece of jewelry and save up to 44%. Everything's included: rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, all the gifts women love every day of the year. But hurry, this amazingly popular offer ends January 3rd at 5 p.m. and will not be extended. And if you're planning that New Year's weekend proposal, we got you covered with a great selection of ready-to-wear diamond rings starting as low as $795. It's been a fantastic year at Beard's, and we're so grateful for your business and your trust. In a sea of mega corporate chain jewelers, we're honored to be the only one that's locally owned in the town center. We are proud to be a part of this amazing community, and you can count on us again in 2026 to deliver the highest quality jewelry at the guaranteed best value, with the service and attention you can only get from an independent jeweler that's been around nearly 45 years. Happy New Year from Beard's Diamonds.
Superior Plumbing and Pipelining is family owned and delivers fast, reliable service. Save thousands by restoring your cast iron pipes instead of replacing them. Visit SuperiorPlumbingJacks.com today.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Kalen Denmark with some club music. What's going on this Friday night? You know, the men are out there just running and ripping.
You know, a lot of party on New Year's Eve, a lot of party on New Year's Day. We're gonna chill tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Over on the west side, at least.
Mm-hmm. West side's chilling. Really?
No.
Nothing going on down at the Jug?
No, not the Jug. Nothing at the Flash Dancers tonight. We're just gonna hang out.
Tell you, one of my dreams, and I have many of them. They're lucid. I move with them. Know exactly that I'm in them, and it's a great feeling. I score touchdowns. I hit game winners. I sink putts. I have a blonde. I have a brunette. It's everything that you could possibly ever want. But this is reality. I need a hearse. I need 5 or 6 big boy beer guzzlers, and we need a trip around Duval to dive bars only. And I've never been to the Jug. I've been by the Jug 2 or 3 times, and it was closed. Apparently, it's up and running right now. Okay, the Lynyrd Skynyrd song, I was, cutting the rug at a place called the Jug with a girl named Linda Lou. In came a man with a gun in his hand looking for you-know-who. I mean, Lynyrd Skynyrd was so... I mean, not only were they great musically, they were so great... we'll get the lyricists involved. That's when music was music, brother.
Yeah, nobody's like that now. Occasionally on a Friday or Saturday night when I get my drink on, I'll turn on some Lynyrd Skynyrd from the 70s at a live concert. God, those guys.
The one from
so
Oakland?
Fun. There's a couple of them, but yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah, the one from Oakland is absolutely spectacular. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. You know, all of this, let's do the right thing, let's say the right thing, it's overrated. And I'm surprised that some of you out there are, like, defending the referees. Let me be crystal clear about this, okay? There are things in life that have changed before our eyes and ears that should not. Let me give you an example. It's not Ole Miss. It's Old Miss. It's not sophomore. It is sophomore, okay? It's not freaking he had a home run and 3 RBI. It's he had a home run and 3 RBIs, okay? It is not, well, he's the most talented player right now in all of the sport. It's all of the sports. And finally, if you're putting together a little party and maybe it's in grammar school or maybe it's a neighborhood potluck or whatever, and you say, oh, don't worry about it, we'll provide all the food and drink, I ain't showing up. It's food and drinks, people. And on the same stuff, the clock ran out. Don't give me the do-goody, oh, there was technically a second left. They ruined the moment for Mississippi fans.
Multiple
the
times.
Officials put themselves in front of the game. And there's not a person alive, unless you're a Georgia Bulldogs fan, who agreed with what the officiating did a night ago. And I'm glad that some people nationally have really gone after them and really criticized them. It was bogus. It was almost like they were saying, again, you're Mississippi. You're still, what was it, Trev Alberts years ago said, Mississippi, you're the runt of the SEC. I believe he said it about Mississippi and not Mississippi State, because I think it was after the Eli Manning a big loss. Trev Alberts went nuts and said they were still treated like that last night. Their greatest moment in the history of that program, and the officials did their best to spoil it.
The last second took 10 minutes of real time, and what was the most entertaining fourth quarter of any game this year. I don't even think there's a close second. I mean, Mississippi scores a touchdown. Georgia goes for it 4th and 2. They go up 10, and Georgia answers right back, and you go back and forth. The missed face mask. Georgia goes down. They kick the field goal. They kick the field goal, and then Mississippi on 3rd and 5, they hit the deep ball right under a minute. So much action, and then it gets overthrown by everything you just said.
See, it's all about the moment, and the moment's spoiled. Now, it ended up being incredible, but I'm talking about living in the moment. I tell you all the time, the expression I can't wait for. I despise it because it's all about, for me, being in the moment. There's no place I'd rather be right now, right here, than what I'm doing. And that's why I've always wondered, this is so stupid, when they go back years later and they take away wins. When they took away John Calipari's wins at UMass, when he had Marcus Camby and Lou Rowe. When they took away Bobby Bowden's losses. When they took away Joe Paterno's losses. When Ed Martin made a mockery of Michigan basketball, and they took down that banner, not the national championship banner, but the Big Ten banner, and they took away those wins. You can't take away the moment that you're expressing live at that time years down the road. You can't do it. It's not the same thing. That's why taking away wins should never be a part of an NCAA penalty. And that's exactly what happened. That should have been joyous. That should have been run on the field, confetti, slapping backs, kissing babies, having the greatest time. And it wasn't. They delayed it not once, but twice. I mean, yeah, I'm really bothered by this. And again, it's not like I'm a mouthpiece for Mississippi. It's just do the right thing, people. Don't spoil it for totally, absolutely unnecessary reasons. And I don't know if it's ever going to change. I just wonder, is it going to happening to Mississippi last night? Oh, by the way, and this is what I mean. You know what it means? Nothing. Nothing. Okay? If this happened to Georgia, people would be going nuts. If this happened to Alabama, people would be going nuts. If this happened to Ohio State, people would be going nuts, because they're the big and they're the bold and they are the blue bloods of that sport. But is it going to have to happen? I remember years ago the very debatable goal between Dallas and Buffalo. Okay? An enormous effect on the outcome of the Stanley Cup. I understand my audience. Probably less than 5% of you out there know exactly what I'm talking about. But is this going to have to come down to, like, when Ohio State played Miami 25 years ago?
Yep.
When that flag literally hit the field like 12 seconds
after the play?
Yeah. In Miami, won 5 national titles. You know what, though? It was Miami. They're considered a renegade program. That went away. Is this going to happen in the biggest moment of them all, late in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl?
The problem with today's officiating, mainly with football, you don't really see this with other sports. Baseball is dipping their toe into officiating now with replay, is that everyone is paralyzed by perfection. And, sometimes you're going to have some people mess up. But if there's 1 second left on the clock like that, you just let it go and you move on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that. And Georgia doesn't have a shot, and the confetti rains, and then you go to the next round and coaches shake hands, and that's it.
Yeah. I could not agree. I mean, I absolutely agree with that 100%. And they just, made a total embarrassment out of us. I really just felt awful watching this for these players. I mean, you look at the Pete Golding situation. He's there with both his sons, or I believe it was both his sons that he was there with. And Trinidad Chambliss, the plays that he made on that final drive were absolutely nothing short of spectacular. One of the greatest drives in the history of college football with the game on the line. And again, they took away from it. So just imagine today. I didn't hear Pete Golding say anything about this. Of course, everything now is about Lane Kiffin and whether or not assistants are going to be able to coach for Mississippi in 6 days, or if Lane really wants to be evil, if Lane Kiffin really wants to be the heel here, if he really wants to be the villain here, you don't allow them to coach. You say, listen, it's one or the other. Okay, I don't care if he's tweeting out all these good things. You come out and you say, portal open today. I know that I think it was Charlie Weiss, their offensive coordinator, was on the LSU campus this morning. You can't do two things at one time. It's proven that it doesn't work. Okay, I can think of Mark Richt. That certainly comes to mind against Oklahoma, a team that averaged 43 points a game, was held to a safety. A lot of that was because of Snoop Minnis flunking out. That's another thing I've never really understood with Florida State fans. It's like they roll out the red carpet for Snoop Minnis, and they love him. For crying out loud, if the guy didn't flunk out of school, they would have won that national title. But you and I think differently, right? You're all about, we'll forgive, and most of you have already forgot. Screw that. Are you kidding me? He cost them a national title because he didn't play in the damn game. I can't believe Ballou just said that. I love Snoop. What's there not to love about Snoop? Snoop scored that big touchdown against Clemson. Chris Winkie had the best play-action fake ever. Snoop went like 100 yards. I love Snoop. Ballou's not really a knoll. He's picking on Snoop. Snoop cost Florida State a national championship. Okay? He's a foe in my mind. Tell you who's not a foe. Rick Alexander and the Alexander Law Practice. If you have been injured, folks, and you're up against it, whether it's bodily harm, whether it's your vehicle that has been totaled, you need to pick up the phone and set up a consultation. First things first, immediate callback, and the consultation is free. You may have a car that's totaled. Those are the type of questions that you ask Rick Alexander. You may have a rental car for you as early as Monday. Okay? You may need physical therapy. You may need to see another doctor. You're never going to come out of pocket. Everything that is going on is going to be put together by the Alexander Law Practice. Rick is old school. He's involved with every single one of his cases. He's got an outstanding staff with him who do a real good job practicing law, but Rick deals with everyone individually, okay? They take on less. They're small, and it's for that very reason. Check them out today. Go to alexanderlawpractice.com. Better yet, make yourself an appointment. $400, $6,600. It ends up being for you a free consultation. And again, you never come out of pocket. All right, more on college football coming up. If you want to add your 2 cents in, love to hear from you on our text line at 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also on YouTube tonight. You can go there and watch. Go to YouTube 1010 XL into the night. Let's get to the Jaguars. Let's do that. A massive game with a win and you host situation ahead of the Jags. Got a lot of comments on this. Also, let's look back at preseason prognostication, where I had the Jaguars, what I thought they would do on a week-to-week basis, and where they're at right now. All of that is coming up on Into the Night.
It's been an amazing season under first-year head coach Liam Cohen, and it's time for a postseason tune-up against Tennessee. Activate maximum momentum and bring it to the bank. All aboard! Jaguars Titans, Sunday at 1 on Duval's home of the Jaguars. 1010XL. 10XL. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking mumbo-jumbo. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices. I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from high heels to wagon wheels. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Best Bet is number one. That's right, Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one-card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war, just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. Learn all the games at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 2nd, 1997, the Florida Gators won their first national championship when they beat arch rival Florida State in a rematch 52-20 in the Sugar Bowl.
Frank Franzi for Coyle Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember when the Jaguars upset the Denver Broncos in the 1996 divisional round as a 14-point underdog and launched them into the AFC Championship? Well, you know who won't upset you? The team at Coyle Fencing. Coyle is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and has been serving the Jacksonville community for nearly 100 years. From sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love to tough chain link for your commercial project, Coyle does it all. Visit CoyleJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coyle Fencing, partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
It's January. You turn on the hot water, expecting steam, and you get let down. That's usually a sign your tankless water heater is loaded with mineral buildup, slowing it down and wearing it out before it's time. So Duck Rooter is kicking the new year off strong with a Start Fresh Tankless Flush. Their experienced technicians flush and clean your tankless system, restoring performance and getting you back in the game. Right now, get your tankless water heater flushed and cleaned for just $99, 904-862-6769 or DuckDuckRooter.com.
I know it's football season, but I know you love basketball too. And youth sports are always in season at the First Coast YMCA. Registration is now open for winter basketball at the Y. Today, more than ever, our kids need to experience the joy of being a kid while also learning the importance of teamwork, respect, and healthy living. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, fun environment with an exciting youth basketball league. Learn more at fcymca.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, for many of you, an extended holiday. I hope it's been a lot of fun. Hope the mother-in-law didn't stay too long. You got to know when is when. That doesn't always apply to just drinking. And if you are drinking, please don't drive. Looking forward to tomorrow. Early morning tea time and perhaps the beach for a little bit. So we'll see what the weather is like. I'm told that it's supposed to be fairly nice tomorrow, maybe 70 degrees or so.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain at some point this week and then get cool. But, man, I golfed yesterday morning, a little cold, and it warmed up. There was nobody out there, which is awesome. You rarely get that.
Yeah, people will golf in the heat now. I noticed that it's never really that slow, but it gets cold, that'll keep you in. I got a very, very, very early tee time tomorrow. Way too early. I'll be asleep for the first 7, 8, 9 holes. So, cart girls, feel free to just not even be there during the front side. You can go to the back.
Guess how many I saw? 7:30 tee time yesterday. Guess how many cart girls I saw?
At 7:30?
Yeah.
Not a chance you saw one on the front side.
That is correct.
Say you saw one on the back.
I saw one. I got to the 14th or 15th hole. That was the only one I saw.
Unbelievable.
On New Year's Day.
Yeah. I mean, just one of the biggest tip days of the year. But, hey, you know, I've complained about that enough. I'm complaining only about the officiating tonight. Everything else is real positive, including the fact that, you know, Jacksonville has a chance to go 5-1 in the AFC South. That'll be the best record that they've ever had since the realignment of 2002. Remember back in 1999, it was a different set of circumstances as far as the divisions. And, you know, they knocked off Tennessee in Nashville back on November 30th by a score of 25-3. But if you remember that game, the way that it started, Tennessee was on, and they put together an 11-play, 70-yard drive. Jacksonville bent. They did not break. They forced a field goal, and then that was it. They completely shut down and shut out Tennessee the remainder of that football game. You know, that won't be looked at as much as certainly last week when you were down 10-0 and able to come from behind. So I think that's another aspect of all of this that is promising for Jacksonville, is that they've won every way that you can, including being down in football games. You don't want to be down tomorrow. You want to put this team away. And I think the most important aspect of the game is to get Trevor Lawrence the heck out of there. Get Travis Etienne out of there. Get Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker out of there. Aloha Khan and Lloyd out of there. And, you know, this isn't college football. We have 85 scholarships plus walk-ons. We know you dress 48, and 3 are special teams guys. Kicker, punter, deep snapper. So you're talking about a list of 45 players. You basically have 22 on either side. You have one backup. That's the way that the NFL game is. And, oh, by the way, the rosters have to be expanded once you go to an 18th game. There's no question about it. It has to be expanded. But you got to get these guys the heck out of there. I also think tomorrow's a big game when it comes to focus, right? This team has really had a problem with that this year. Now, They've gotten better lately as far as penalties. You cannot commit those in the month of January. January football, as we know, could come down to a play here, a play there. A mistake here, a mistake there. An official here, an official there. Okay? Let's be honest. It could. You have to eliminate those stupid penalties. It's impossible to have a clean slate. And again, the Jags have done better with that as of late. Last Sunday, they had 2 red zone turnovers. Trevor Lawrence is human. He threw one that he shouldn't have. He had gone through, 5 consecutive games where he was nothing short of spectacular. Of course, it's going to happen time and again, but man, you really have to eliminate red zone turnovers. And you had the one with the Trevor pick. You also had that razzle-dazzle, the hook and ladder, and frankly, a ball that ETN just absolutely has to hang on to. I want to say it's his first fumble since Miami at goal line when the 2024 NFL season began. Drops just went away for like a period of a month. They seemed to go away, right when Jacoby Myers got here. Myers did have a drop, I think, in game 3, but they had a few last week. And, this is now where you just have to play every single opportunity, every single snap as crisp as you can. If you get beat, and you can come back in here and we talk about it and you just say, hey, listen, the opponent was better or the opponent had a better game plan, all right? You tip your cap. Now, I've said this all along and I still believe it, even with them being this close to winning for a 13th time. I think they're a better football team next year. I really believe that. And again, no one wants to talk about next year, but I just want to make the point. I think they'll be better next year than what they've actually done this year. And we just went through the math. We went through the data of what they're doing now this year offensively compared to what they are allowing defensively. And we know that some key players are not going to be back, which I may get to here in just one second. And the other side of that, and it's not always what it appears to be. And what I mean by this is, my guess, they'll be a better football team next year. Doesn't necessarily mean they'll have a better record because they're going to be playing a first-place schedule in a season, okay? Again, there's always a way to spin it. There's always a way to cook the books. Finale tomorrow, regular season, or make that Sunday. I think this is it for Dewey. I think this is his last regular season game in Jacksonville. I just can't see how this organization can afford to pay both Travis Etienne and Devin Lloyd. To me, that's scary. As a matter of fact, if you were to say, do both come back or neither come back, I'd say neither if I was forced. The easy way out is one, and that for me would be Lloyd. I am a big fan of Etienne. I just think the position is not respected. The position is not looked upon as a primary one unless you are incredibly special. And there's only maybe 2 or 3 running backs that you can honestly say that about right now currently in the league. So, I don't think he's going to be back. For me now, the number one issue will be Buster Brown. Get it done. Get him done. Can you imagine being Buster Brown and now talking with his agent and thinking about what those terms could be, what those numbers could be, based on the way that his career has gone? He would be priority number 1 for me. I think Buster Brown's going to be solid and he's going to be set regardless of the defensive scheme. I have a little bit of hesitation thinking that is going to be the same if Anthony Campanile ever goes somewhere as a head coach with Devin Lloyd. Okay, I don't know that. I can't prove that. It's just the combination of my head and my gut reacting at the same time. You may agree or disagree with that. Cole Van Lannon, they may not be able to afford to bring him back. He's going to get offered starter's money somewhere. So I'd love to see that happen. As a matter of fact, I'd love to have him be a part of that starting offensive line next year. I know Wyatt Milam is going to be. And then you look around, is this it for Walker Little? They had more than $84 million in dead cap money this year. Do they just say that's it? We're going to move on. Eric Armstead, year 3 of his contract since free agency. Did they just say that's it? You got to move along. Devon Hamilton, you got to move along. There's a lot of guys like that. I mean, you have big contracts coming up. You have Trayvon Walker coming up in a year. And most believe it will get done this year. Okay, Parker Washington is coming up. Anton Harrison is coming up. You got a lot of moves you got to make. So the only reason why I raise that is this could be their regular season finale coming up on Sunday. Last point I'll make that I'd love to see with this football team against Tennessee to wrap up the regular season is more consistency running the football. And, I hope that happens in the first half. I hope it's a big game for Travis Etienne. He got it back to 4.5 yards a carry against Indianapolis. But the Jaguars right now are 20th in the league in rushing. 118.3 yards. If you were to examine, I haven't done it yet. We'll wait till the playoffs are announced. But if you look at the 14 teams that go to the playoffs, I have to believe that Jacksonville is among the worst in the NFL at running the football. They began the year best at running the football in the first month. Now, we've all watched it, okay? This has become a run-first football team that evolved into a pass-first football team. And they deserve credit for that because they understood it. They saw what defenses were doing, okay? You can go back to Kansas City on Monday night. You can certainly look at Houston, the game that was played there, and how teams consistently, week after week after week, were stacking the box. They were putting an extra man in there and saying, you're not going to beat us by running the football. Trevor Lawrence, you're going to have to beat us. And he has, and he's done it. So now I'd love to be able to sit here and say, this is the most balanced Jaguar football team that I can remember. Hey, listen, Liam Cohen, he cut his teeth on what? Running the football. Look at what he did a year ago in Tampa Bay. I've given you the numbers oftentimes this year. Go back and look at what Tampa Bay did last year with 2 backs running the football. Look at what they did with backs catching the ball out of the backfield. The screen game, which has been, it's left a little bit to be desired. It hasn't worked the way that, even Liam Cohen said it a few weeks ago where he said we got the screen game to actually work. That was the day that Etienne had 3 receptions for 3 touchdowns. So I would love for them to be more balanced. But I do think that if you're going to, go north of 118 yards, you better hope it happens in the first half. Because I want Etienne on the bench on this, at least by midway through the third quarter going into the fourth quarter. I want him on the bench. Yeah, good news with Bashal Tutin and his finger. He's practicing full all week. We'll see what the situation is if he is able to come back and give it some at-bats with, Quint Allen Jr. and maybe even DJ Dallas, who showed a little bit of burst last week, both on the ground and certainly with his kick returns. But, yeah, that's what you would like to see. And when you talk about the Jaguars now, and this is based on how they changed as a team, it's now stop the pass first, and will they beat you rushing the football? That's changed. Defensive coordinators may look at it differently and still say, we're gonna fix that. We still believe the number one problem for the Jaguars for us defensively is to defend the run, okay? So the extra man will be, once again, closer to the line of scrimmage, and we'll say to Trevor Lawrence, pressure's on you, it's playoff football. you got to beat us. The other side of all of that, which is just so encouraging for you as a Jaguars fan, is that not only is Jacksonville, as I said, got to be among the lowest, 12, 13, 14 when it comes to rushing the football offensively, they also don't have a clear, bona fide number one target. You don't look at this team and say, wow, if we shut down Parker Washington, we win. If you shut down Brian Thomas Jr., we win. If you shut down Brenton Strange, we win. If you shut down Jacoby Myers, we win. You can't do that, because if you do a nice job defending any one of those players, someone else is always stepping up. It's a complete team with not a number one wide receiver. As a matter of fact, if we went patrolling right now through bars in Jacksonville and did a survey and said, who is, outside of ETN, who is the number one Jaguars offensive weapon, not named Trevor Lawrence or Travis Etienne, what do you think would receive the highest percentage?
Jacoby Myers.
I tend to agree with you there.
I'd say about 70 to 75% would say Jacoby Myers.
Yeah. I think we get a lot of Parker Washington, too.
Yeah, right now you would.
I think we would, yeah. I think there'd be a flyer here and there on Thomas Jr. And, that's part of what I'm trying to say here. If all of a sudden it's the playoffs next weekend or it's a divisional round in 2 weekends, and Brian Thomas Jr. has 8 receptions for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns, I'm not going to be shocked. I wouldn't project that. I'm not calling for that, but we know he's got that ability.
Yeah, and someone else, too, that really hasn't shown up well in the box score in the receiving end has been Brenton Strange. And it would surprise you if he, on Sunday, had 80 yards, a touchdown with, 8 catches.
I wrote this down today. Trevor Lawrence already has a career-high 26 touchdowns, 3,752 yards. So he needs 248 yards to get to 4,000. I kind of hope he doesn't get there because I want him on the bench. I want him to throw for a couple of TDs and get out of there. Again, I want him to really be able to run the football. Quarterback rating of 88.7. Kind of hoping he get over 90. Going to have a really good game for that to happen. And his completion percentage is 60.2. Hopefully it stays over 60%. We know the last team to go to the playoffs with a quarterback with a percentage under 50 was Washington when it was with Achilles Smith and Taylor Heineke. All right, finally, before the break, ETN, 1,075 yards. His record was 1,125 yards in 2022. Again, kind of like to see him get it, but I hope it's in the first half. Get him out of there. Parker Washington already has career highs, 53 for 760 and 4 touches. And what if he has a 5 or 6 catch game, puts up another 100 yards? I mean, you trying to tell me that Parker Washington could head to 60 receptions and well over 800 yards receiving? Wow. Strange, 40 is tied for first in his career, 488 yards, 2 touchdowns is tied for first. And let us not forget the nuclear weapon. Cam Little, 28 of 32 field goals, 45 of 46 extra points. He's got 129 points on the year. The record was set by Mike Hollis with 134. That was back in 1997.
Sometimes the secret weapon is the special teams.
He's got a big leg. He's got a career-long.
After the game, pump up the Superior Plumbing Special Teams Player of the Game. Sealed by Superior Plumbing and Pipeline on 1010XL.
Do you have numbness and tingling in your fingers? Or wake up at night and have to shake your hand? Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari, and at Bari Orthopedics, we have a myriad of treatments that can possibly help you. If you have numbness and tingling, you may have carpal tunnel. We have cortisone injections, PRP injections, and shockwave therapy that may help treat the numbness and tingling that you have. We also treat it surgically with endoscopic carpal tunnel release, a 2-centimeter incision that will release the nerve and have you back at work and doing what you want to do in life in no time. If you have numbness and tingling in your hand, give us a call at Bari Orthopedics or log on at BariOrthopedics.com.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander. and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
1010XL's Hayes Carline represents you in the locker room.
So you gotta up your game.
Interview persons of interest so you'll have the information you need to get ready for game day.
Time to put on your game face.
Opened by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacressporting.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass, and I think you deserve a spa-like shower, don't you? Get rid of that dirty, dated setup you have in your bathroom. Those old-style showers can be really ugly. Install a gorgeous frameless shower with thick, sexy glass and a free diamond coating protection that's easier to clean, like Rain-X for your shower. Your bathroom will feel like a luxury spa every morning and night. You deserve it. Visit my friends at leeandkatesglass.com.
You're gonna see a big difference.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Professional painters know the right finish starts with the right paint. That's why they trust First Coast Paint. Featuring Benjamin Moore paints and expert customer service, First Coast Paint keeps the pros stocked and rolling. No gimmicks, no big box confusion, just top quality Benjamin Moore paint, advice, and the best service in Jacksonville, period. Because real pros don't cut corners, they color them. First Coast Paint, with locations in St. John's and St. Augustine. Simply superior paint.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's only 7 o'clock. Remember the Blue Crab Crab House open till 9 tonight. Best seafood anywhere. Right off of San Jose, Julington Creek Road. Spent Christmas Eve there. They had to throw us out. They're like, Blue, Santa's coming. You got to go home. Actually, they said, you don't have to go home. You just can't stay here. It was past 9 o'clock.
You got to make sure you get home to see Santa.
Jacksonville favored by 13.5. Your total 47.5. That is coming up Sunday at 1 o'clock. It appears it's going to be Buffalo. I mean, can you make a point for any other club? Do you see the Colts with Riley Leonard losing at Houston on Sunday. Houston is a 10-point favorite. The Jets and the Bills. Buffalo favored by 7.5. Still really shocked by that number. The Jets are just terrible. I mean, maybe the worst team in the NFL. Some would say Tennessee. Tennessee's actually won a couple of games as of late. We know the Chargers are going with Trey Lance in Denver. It's not going to be Justin Herbert. Trey Lance, oh, by the way, this year, 3 of 7 for 13 yards. He will be the guy trying to win out there at Mile High, where Trevor Lawrence won not too long ago. Then finally, Miami visits New England. The Patriots, a huge favorite. So Pats favored by 11.5 over Miami. The Broncos favored by 12.5 against the Los Angeles Chargers. Houston favored by 10 over the Colts. Bills favored by 7.5 against the Jets. Still surprised that number is that low. You're talking about all 4 teams that you would like to lose, all at home. 3 of the 4 double-digit favorites. The other, a smidge over 7 points.
Yeah, Houston wins. They lock up the 5 seed, I believe. No Justin Herbert. Chargers lose, and I think the Bills do win. I think the Bills come here next week, and the only question is what day and time will the Bills and Jags play?
Yeah. And that we don't know. I mean, it could be Saturday. It could be Sunday. It could be Monday night. I feel pretty safe to say that we can eliminate Monday night, but we don't know that for sure.
Right. Yeah, they're going to take the whatever team has the big brand. A couple of years ago, they did Dallas Cowboys when they played Tom Brady his last game. I forget what the game was last year.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
So they're going to pick, whatever big brand. They might pick the Bears-Packers.
Could
that would be
Yeah.
pretty good.
And what's his name? Trayvon Diggs. Now with Green Bay. Jacksonville is a healthy football team. Patrick McCarry is not going to play. He remains out with his back. So the assumption is, once again, Walker Little at right guard and Cole Van Lannon at left tackle. Jalen McLeod still in the 21-day window. Coming off of injured reserve. He has already been listed as out as well. Everyone else, and let's see here, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 guys on the injury report. The other 9 are all cleared to play. Good news with Anton Harrison, who was ill Sunday, played. I mean, which is remarkable in my opinion. And then, and apparently there's been a lot of, there's been illness and there's been some guys that are less than 100% at the Miller Electric Center right now. And I think that's very common league-wide, right? I mean, most of these players have young families. You know what it's like when the kids go to kindergarten or first or second grade. I mean, one kid in class gets a cold, the entire class gets a cold, and you bring that home, and they're under sensational care. They're also grown-ass men, and Anton Harrison's a great example of that. I have no idea what the ailments were for Anton Harrison, but the guy toughed it out and went out there and played to the point where he was, a non-participant on Wednesday. But he's gotten himself ready, so that's good news. Same deal here with Robert Hainsey. It appears that he returns. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday. He was full today. Jonah Monheim did a really nice job, replacing him. And when you look at Tennessee, there's not a lot of aspects involved with this football team that you can really brag about. But Jeffrey Simmons is an absolute beast, right? And they run that 3-4 style of defense. Former Jaguar, oh, by the way, Arden Key is not going to be able to play. This is a ripped-apart defense right now in Tennessee, particularly their contain. Amani Hooker is not going to be able to play. Their starting strong safety. They've placed quite a few guys on the season-ending injury report list, and others are out. So no matter which way you look at this game, it says a Jacksonville victory. Cam Ward really struggles under pressure. You saw that the last time that they played. He's been sacked 55 times so far this year, or at least I should say Tennessee as a football team has been sacked 55 times this year. They only complete 32.1% of their third down conversions. They are dead last, 32nd in the league. I think it's really important this time of year when you look at the complete picture of a football team to spend that much more time on the second half, to spend that much more time on third down percentage, red zone percentage, takeaways, time of possession, length of drive, every other key category that you can possibly imagine. Second half, fourth quarter, all right? I really identified some phenomenal numbers for Denver a few weeks ago about just how potent they were, especially defensively in the fourth quarter. They were far and away number one in third down defensive conversion rate, red zone conversion rate defensively. And again, these are not numbers that are typically talked about on a week-to-week basis. They absolutely need to be talked about starting now, because most of these games are going to come down to late in the fourth quarter. And again, no matter which way you look at Tennessee for this game, they're just awful. They're red zone defense, 56.3%. That's actually their best statistic. That's 20th in the NFL. Outside of that, look at takeaways. The Jaguars are second with 30. They have 14 fourth quarter takeaways. Think about that. 16 games, 30 takeaways. Almost half of their takeaways are in the fourth quarter. Okay? And we saw what happened with the Jarian Jones pick the other day. The fumble, I'm not trying to diminish starting fast. Hell, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. There's been 5 games this year that Jacksonville has not put up points in the first quarter. Okay? They're still far better early on in the game than they were a season ago. It's still at times not perfect. But to get 14 of your 30 takeaways in the fourth quarter could end up being the difference maker once you get into the playoffs. Overall, the Jaguars are plus 12. That's third in the league. Tennessee's minus 4. So I don't want to bore you with numbers, and I only bring them up when I think they're so important to the outcome of a football game. And in this case, those numbers absolutely, positively are. 00401 Ballou, we don't need that from Brian Thomas Jr. We already have proven that. I don't know why we feel like Brian Thomas Jr. to do anything. We obviously don't. Okay, that's fair, but I didn't say it had to happen. I said that it could happen. And I'm talking about the Jaguars offense as a whole. It's not like any defensive coordinator or any defensive scheme right now outside of preventing them from running is going to say consistently, we're going to take our number one defensive back and have him, follow Brian Thomas Jr. or Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers, by the way, last week played both the Z and the X. So he's increasing his workload. He's starting to do multiple things. Again, the way that this team has evolved schematically speaking. We talked about how they were a rush first team, then they became a pass first team. That's why I'd really like to see them run the ball again on Sunday. I want to be able to strike that fear in your opponents. But I'm not sitting here saying that I expect Brian Thomas Jr. to do this. I'm saying he may be still the number one guy, according to some defensive coordinators. He may be the number 3, number 4 guy compared to some defensive coordinators. So, that's why they play the game. 0981 Ballou, got to let Dewey go. There are people we need to pay. I would be, there's not too often that I'm shocked, okay? Outside of last night when Mississippi knocked off Georgia, I would be shocked if they bring back Dewey. He's had a nice year. He's going to get paid. He's going to make some money. I just don't think he's a part of what this defense needs. I think they need. He's good when they play three safeties. He's good against the run, even though he had that big missed tackle. I'm trying to remember that a couple of weeks ago. Caleb Bransaw's the future. And, I think Eric Murray has maybe a year left, right? I mean, when you sign these free agents, it's typically for 2 years. You may get a third. And, we said that earlier with Eric Armstead. It's a situation where, he could not, that he may not be back. But I would be really shocked if Dewey ends up coming back and being a part of this team in a year. 0253 Ballou, speaking of the refs, Game 3, the Red Sox sent he's going to the Ed Armbrister card. I never thought I would get that on the second day of January 2026. We got to find out who the 0253 is and send him a case of beer. Speaking of the refs, Game 3, Red Sox, Cincinnati, a bunt by Ed Armbrister. He interferes with Carlton Fisk, who threw that ball way over Denny Doyle's head, Rick Burleson's head, into center field. And it was the home plate umpire. He got it. Larry Barnett said no interference. Yeah. And that's part of Red Sox lore. That's part of why does everything always happen to me. Was it Curly who said that? No, it was Shemp. It was Shemp who said that. Can you name the fifth Three Stooges?
No, sir.
Can you name any of the Three Stooges?
No, sir.
All right. You got Larry and you got Moe, part of the Howard family. Curly was the most popular. Then you had Shemp. Shemp was kind of the oddball of the family. I think he was dropped at the door. And they just felt bad for him. But he was the one who always cried and said, everything always happens to me. That's what Red Sox fans did for years. The other was Joe, who was kind of a poor man's Curly. He just was so unmanly. And he used to go to the not so hard card. Hey, Channel 38 in Boston, growing up, we had like two choices after school. It was Three Stooges or like F Troop or Get Smart or something like that. So grew up with the Three Stooges. No doubt about it. Good stuff. And you have no idea what we're talking about. I don't even watch comedy anymore. I just can't do it. I mean, I like to laugh.
Right.
I mean, listen, I want a good laugh. I look in the mirror. You know what I mean? But I just don't do today's stand-up or any of that. And I think we're in a process where there are so many good shows that are out there, series that are out there, but almost no good movies.
No, the movies are terrible. I can't tell you how many movies I start to watch. I'm like, I'll give this a shot, and I get about 25, 30 minutes, and I'm just like, it's not worth my time.
No.
And it's a lot of the stand-up now. A lot of the comedians will do a podcast, and their podcast is it's a lot funnier than their stand-up.
Is it?
And, like Tom Segura just did one, Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle. I've watched all of them for like the first 10 minutes. I'm just like, And I end up just turning it off.
Yeah, I get some of those clips, reels, or whatever it is on social media, and I'll watch some of that. But I can't remember the last time I was fully invested. And it was like, it would be like, oh, well, let's watch a comedy or let's watch a sitcom. Is there ever been a sitcom where it hasn't ended with a happy ending? I mean, give me a sitcom where it ended up being even remotely controversial or the guy loses the guy. I mean, I'll tell you a sitcom right now. Guy meets girl. Guy has no chance of meeting that girl. She's way, way over his head. Guy lands girl. Somehow down the road, guy loses girl. Very end of the movie, guy gets back girl. Roll credits. There you have it. That's a sitcom for you. Please don't say breakup because that movie got intense. I mean, the way that Vince Vaughn dresses down Jennifer Aniston and screams at her, that's not a sitcom. I mean, that's flat out hatred at that part and that point in the movie. You getting anything over there where you got a sitcom for me that did not end? And don't give me Old Yeller either.
No, I just went to the internet. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
They're telling me Notorious examples include Seinfeld's.
Screw that.
Yeah.
Screw that. I'm talking about a movie.
Roseanne,
Nah,
yeah.
those are all sitcoms.
Yeah.
Were very good in their day. It's time to call a spade a spade. Brian Thomas Jr. is not a number one. Never said he was a number one. I said Jacksonville doesn't have a number one. Repeat after me. Okay. And I need to know this, and I do know it. I just need to remind you of it every once in a while. It never, ever, 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 ever matters what I say. It only matters what you hear.
Hang out with hacker Leon and Coach Gerald Ingram. The window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. Live from Hurricane Grill and Wings, San Marco. 2 hours after the final whistle on game day. Nailed down by Apex Roofing and Contracting.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentist and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my successful back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
You want to know more about your favorite football team. That's right. And John Osher delivers because O knows. Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Served by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on 1010XL.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
It's January in Jacksonville, so you turn on the shower knob expecting hot water. It comes up cold. That's a tough loss to start the day, but Duck Duck Rooter is here to turn things around with the new year, new water heater promotion. Duck Duck Rooter makes replacing that old water heater a winning play. Right now, get a new water heater installed for just $14.99 on select models with standard installation. Call now to schedule your free estimate and take the cold shower off the scoreboard. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Checkmate.
I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, adorable mascot for Checkmate Coatings.
If you're thinking of refinishing your garage floor, there's 2 things you need to know about us. My family has been in the concrete coatings industry for more than 40 years.
And I was drawn 6 months ago by an artist in New Jersey.
Why is that even relevant?
Well, you said 40 years experience, so I had to give them something.
Over the years, we've worked closely with major manufacturers to develop a multi-layer application process that creates beautiful, durable, and long-lasting floors.
So even decades from now, your garage floor will look as gorgeous as it did the day it was installed.
Experience?
Check. Durable?
Check. Decades of experience making garage floors gorgeous? Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
For those who know, you know. For those who don't, YouTube it. Watch an episode of the Three Stooges, one of the greatest of all times. I mean, it's slapstick comedy. This was hit you over the head with an axe type comedy. I mean, they really beat themselves up, apparently. I read something on it long time ago on the Three Stooges, so absolutely. Getting some good stuff here. Wedding Crashers, Vince Vaughn, Roll Swingers. Looking for sitcoms that end with anything but a happy ending. Kevin Spacey in American Beauty. Would we term American Beauty as a rom-com? I don't think so. Wasn't that more of a I don't know. Cosby Show in a pretty bad way. Okay, I'm talking about movies. I don't remember how the Cosby Show. I don't remember how any of these. I went through a lot of years without watching TV outside of sports. I never watched really the Cosby Show or even Seinfeld. Or I remember everyone when I was in college. Beverly Hills 90210 was huge. I never watched any of that because I was working. You know. I went back and saw some of it years later. Cheers I didn't miss. The end of the Cheers is maybe the greatest ending to a sitcom of all
Didn't
time.
like 80-something million people watch the ending of that show?
Cheers?
Yeah.
I think it was second to only MASH.
Okay, I might be thinking of that one.
MASH was totally off the charts at that particular time. I'm sure the end of Seinfeld and people think Seinfeld's an institution. I thought Seinfeld was good. Very, very good. To me, Cheers was better for obvious reasons. I have an agenda here. It was Boston-based, and how can you not love Mayday Malone? I mean, if you need an out in the ninth inning, forget Mariano Rivera, forget Lee Smith, forget Goose Gossage, forget Hoyt Wilhelm, forget Bruce Sutter, forget Dennis Eckersley. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. You give the baseball to Mayday Malone, Sam Malone, and he's going to get you that out. Okay, let's look at this. Jaguars, as we know, are 12-4, an opportunity to be 13-4 on Sunday. My preseason picks. Now, we do the picks once the schedule comes out, and then we did it the Friday before the start of the regular season. Obviously, what matters most is what you do the Friday before the game because everything changes, particularly with injuries. But these were my picks in very early September. Had them winning against Carolina, 1-0. Had them losing against Cincinnati, 2-0. Had them winning against Houston, 3-0. Had them losing at San Francisco. Of course, they won. It puts me at 3-1. Had them losing against Kansas City. That puts me at 3-2. Okay? And actually changed that during the regular season, right? That's why I stuttered there a little bit. I do apologize for that. Against Seattle, I had them losing 4-2. Against the Los Angeles Rams in London, had them losing. That's 5-2. Against the Raiders in Las Vegas, had them winning 6-2. At Houston, had them losing 7-2. Wow. Chargers at the Jags, had them winning 8-2. Jacksonville at Arizona, had them losing. Okay, put me at 8-3. A win at Tennessee put me at 9-3. A win here against Indianapolis, 10-3. Jets against the Jaguars, a win, 11-3. At Denver, a loss. That would put me at 11-4. And then at Indy last week, I had them winning 12-4. I have them winning this Sunday. So I'm going to have the identical record preseason-wise that the Jaguars are going to end up with 13-4. What's crazy is I had them going 10-7. I actually got 3 more games right by picking them to lose. So overall, I went 13-4 on the Jaguars prognostication, but had them 10-7 for the year. And by the way, that's a big miss. That isn't something to congratulate for. During a 17-season campaign, again, we're not talking about a 162 baseball game schedule here. We're not talking about 82 games in the NBA or the NHL. We're talking about 17 NFL games. I had them going 10-7. If it's 13-4 and I missed by 3 games, that's a massive amount. Would you have Matt again? Were you 9-8?
I had 7 wins, a good season, 8 wins.
Yeah.
I was between the two.
It means it means almost next to nothing, but we just, we talk about it the entire off season. And, we'll do the same thing this year. Once the schedule is released, we'll go through it, and then we'll go through it again right before the start of the year. But the ones that matter most are obviously the games that, are taking place that week. And I don't know of anyone who's picking against Jacksonville this Sunday. It'd be very interesting to see what happens next week, especially if it's the Bills that are coming into town. We will see. Here's a guy who's telling me to look up Larry Storch at F-Troop. Says he looks like me. I know exactly who Larry Storch is. And I think the 5105 is trying to sneak one in, and you did. We'll allow that. Getting all these Three Stooges references. We just played the music for you. Yeah, I mean, if you're older in the tooth like I am, it was just sensational. It really was. And I know it forever. I did it, started at the Ball, and I took it with me to Chicago, and I brought it back here forever. And then I stopped doing it just because I got, it was like enough was enough. But I think I did it for like 18, 19 consecutive years. It was the Rick Bull Ultimate Golf Foursome with a girl in a beer cart with nothing but a thong on show. And we would do it every year. And people would select 4 guys that they would like to play golf with, live or dead, and a cart girl. Okay. But I just kind of figured, my daughters were getting older, and it was just like, now everything is politically incorrect. And, can you imagine Ballou getting canceled because the audacity of putting together an ultimate golf foursome? And did you hear what he said about that girl? So I just came right out and I said, you know what, let's forget. I still get asked about it all the time. When are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? I'm like, nah, it's been retired. It also felt like, honestly, it was the ultimate mail-in show, and I just can't do that. I can't do it anymore. When I was doing 3 and 4 hour shows, okay, maybe I'd do it for 2 hours on that particular, at most times, day, but that was retired a long time ago.
Yeah,
so.
2 hour shows, it's very hard to put in, what's the word? What's the adjective to use? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of more meat potatoes, and here's what's going on, and then, moving on.
My first ever foursome included Curly from the Three Stooges. That's the reason why I mentioned it.
Okay.
Because I remember Donna Ballou Murphy, kept it written out, and we had a plaque for a while, and we'd add it yearly, and made a big deal out of it. But, it's like everything else. It runs its course, and I just thought that it was time to put an end to that. Says, I'm all grown up these days. I don't want to do anything. Listen, when it started, I had nothing to lose. I have too much to lose now. I got to do things, the right way. I can't upset any of you, have you complaining about me and doing things like that. So you'll never get any of that ever again out of the Truth Teller. 3823. You also have never gone to Crystal's. There's no such thing. You went to Crystal's. You don't go to Burger King's. You're talking about my what drives me nuts as far as grammar. Like, you just hit a 2-run homer and let's track on 3 RBI. No. It's RBIs. You're saying the same thing here, 3823. You never go to Crystal's. There's no such thing. You went to Crystal. You don't go to Burger King's. You go to Burger King. Well, that I'd agree with. I don't know about the Crystal. I think I always said Crystals. I'm going to disagree with you there. Burger King, you nailed me 100%. Right? Because you can have beer with someone and you can get away with it with saying, let's have some beers. But you don't say, hey, look at the deers. Right? You can, but people are going to look at you kind of sideways.
Yeah, it is Crystal. No S.
Yeah, but I think most say Crystals.
Oh, 100%. I've never heard anybody say I'm going to Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
You would think like you're going to someone's house when you say that.
Right. This is my favorite part of the program, when people take snapshots on their phone and show me their bets. There's nothing better.
Only when they win.
And we have an example of one here. I won't give the digits because listen, based on the recent numbers, most wives are listening. You put down $83.32. Jaguars plus 275 to win the AFC South. You have collected $312.45. Congratulations. There's nothing we love more than during the holidays, listeners of Into the Night just making themselves a pocket full of cash. I'd love to say I made the bet. I didn't make the bet. I only came out with one bet all year. And it was Trevor Lawrence over 21.5 touchdowns. And that's been cleared a long, long time ago. How about the Philly Godfather went 5-1 on his plays after joining us on Wednesday night? 5 wins, 1 loss. And, of course, he got the Jaguars at 6.5 wins, 7 wins. He collected both those checks around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's incredible. Just going 5-1 in the playoff. It's predicting these playoffs is so hard when some teams have 3.5 weeks off and some teams have 2.5 weeks off or 2 weeks off. It's not like the NFL where you're playing every week. Everybody kind of thought before the game, Alabama, Indiana, you're like, oh, Alabama, they might, get to them and do this. And then the game starts and you're like, yeah, it's not going to happen.
Right. This in-game betting, I love how it has changed, because I was watching, the Buckeyes in Miami, and I'm like, Ohio State's going to come back and win this game. And I wonder what the numbers were actually in-game when Ohio State was down 14-0.
So I know a friend that did that, and he bet moneyline Ohio State, and I think they were like plus 200.
Mm-hmm.
So you pretty much double your money.
Yeah.
And obviously did not hit.
No, did not. A missed field goal, and, we saw some really bad coaching at times. Not necessarily there with Ohio State, but certainly Kirby Smart. I mean, when all of a sudden did he wake up and become Mike Norvell, going for it on 4th down from your own, 32-yard line with 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter?
Kirby had 2 of those yesterday. Yeah. It had a fake punt. Right. He got it. Mm-hmm. And then that run the punt team runs off, the offense runs out there. That was bad.
Yeah, and he said after the game that they weren't supposed to snap the ball.
Yeah, it looked like that, because that D end. I mean, usually when you roll out to the right, the backside D end, you leave him free. I mean, that dude went straight for the quarterback and got him right immediately.
Yeah. I think the most unusual game of the day was Tech in Indiana. Tech actually played really well defensively in that game. They just couldn't do anything at all on the offensive side. In Indiana, my gosh, that offensive line. I mean, that's a scary-looking football team right now.
Yeah, I think Indiana is the best coached football team that's left. And with that Texas Tech, I think they had 7 minutes of time possession in the first half. You're not going to be a really good team that way. I mean, even if you're scoring on quick drives, the other team's just going to wear out your defense. And as you saw, there's nothing you can really do in the second half.
I know I provided a lot of snobbery over the years, including this year, on how Blue Bloods only win the national championship in college football. Looks like I'm going to get really beat up here, and I'm okay with that. But look at the seedings who remain. Okay, 12-team college football playoff. It's not 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have number 1 Indiana, number 5 Oregon. Indiana favored by 4 points. That's a rematch. You have number 6 Mississippi against number 10 Miami, the Canes, favored by 3 points. Indiana's your overall favorite right now to win the national title. They're plus 130 to the dollar. Translation, you lay down $100, you get back your 100 plus an additional $130. Miami and Oregon are both plus 300. You lay down $100, you get that back plus an additional $300 if you choose either the Ducks or the Canes. And then Mississippi, again, getting no respect, plus 600. I mean, you talk about low risk, pretty decent reward. 600. You know, you lay down $10, you get $60 back. You lay down $100, Mississippi wins it, you get back $600. That's it's pretty good. It's not a great risk, and it's a really plentiful reward if that is what you decide to do. Or perhaps maybe you'll just sit back and watch the game and enjoy it. Or games, I should say. They're coming up in 6 and 7 days, respectively.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass. They say you're gonna see a big difference. But what does that really mean? It means a live local person on the phone, a smooth, easy process, skilled craftsmen, and excellent customer service all around, with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed. Visit LeeandKatesGlass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is former NFL quarterback David Garrard. If your knees have taken a beating and you're finally ready to do something about it, then let Southeast Orthopedic take a look. Come on, do your knees a favor.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lot bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking mumbo-jumbo. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices. I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from high heels to wagon wheels. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
At Hollis Pools, building a pool is personal. We sit down with you, listen to your vision, and bring your backyard dreams to life right here in Northeast Florida. Working with us doesn't feel like working with a contractor. It feels like working with family. Every Hollis Pools project supports Project Savior Outdoors, helping bring hope to our veterans. Visit HollisPools.com. Hollis Pools, your vision, your pool, your escape. License number CPC 1461233.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, is that a turtleneck? Can't you feel it, Jason? There's a chill in the air, a definite nip. I mean, it is January. In Jacksonville, Jason. I didn't come here for cold. Well, I wouldn't call this. Cold weather gives me the sniffles. Sniffles turns to pneumonia. Suddenly, I'm in a hospital bed with a tube down my throat because Florida didn't get the memo about ignoring winter. So, switch over to heat. What if my system can't remember how to heat? Dude, put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Bueller Air and Plumbing can make sure your system is ready to switch from cooling to heat. We'll clean your heating coil to get rid of that burning dust smell and make sure you have the coolant pressure to keep your heat pump pumping out the heat. Huh, I had no idea these sunglasses worked in the winter.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is JJ with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at KuhnFlowers.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Well, the golden moment, no doubt about it. It's Mississippi 39, Georgia 34, despite the officiating who did their very best to ruin the greatest moment in Mississippi history. Ole Miss now gets to sit back and enjoy. Be certainly a big game. They're actually a dog here against Miami. I think they have a real good chance to beat Miami coming up next week. We'll talk an awful lot about that beginning on Monday. So that should be pretty cool. And how about Trinidad Chambliss? I mean, just sensational what he was able to do. And again, Kirby Smart tried to get a little too cute. And you got to wonder now for Georgia. You know, this is a third consecutive year that I would say that it looks like the Big Ten has a really good chance to win it. Odds are that right now it is Indiana. Doesn't mean that that is going to happen. But you have two teams from the Big Ten. Only one will make it. That's a rematch with Oregon. Then you got the ACC and the SEC. But again, I've been hammering this point forever that only the big and the bold and all of that can win. I wonder if this is a one-year exception to the rule or this becomes fairly consistent in college football.
Yeah, Ole Miss has a quarterback that won the D2 Heisman a year ago.
All right, how about that?
That's probably not going to happen again. I mean, all four quarterbacks are from the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
Carson Beck was supposed to be really good. Didn't really, you didn't really see it come to fruition at Georgia. You're seeing it now with Miami. Most people didn't know who Mendoza was, and you're seeing him be really good on a really good team. And then what's the other team? Oregon. I mean, they're the quietest good team because they haven't played really a big game this year, at least in the regular season, other than when they lost to Indiana, and they can avenge that loss.
Yeah, no doubt about it. On YouTube here, Someone, where was it? It's Oakley Gear says after the Philly Godfather, we just talked about going 5-1 with his picks. Says I remember when the Philly Godfather had Kamala over Trump. I'm like, wait a minute now. I follow the Philly Godfather religiously, and I believe you do as well, Dylan. He was big time for months out about Trump winning, and he showed his ticket. He collected a huge check when that was announced. Do you remember him ever having it different?
No, I remember him cashing the Trump ticket, but I don't remember everything leading up to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. It is what it is. The fact that you can bet on that now is just incredible. And, the other side of it is hearing it from Rafael Esparza that the most bet on game consistently year after year after year is the Super Bowl, where there's billions and billions of dollars. But now betting on the presidential election every 4 years absolutely dwarfs the Super Bowl.
I have many people that bet. I don't know a single person that bets on the election. Not yet.
Neither do I. Just my point. He would be the only one. I mean, even golfing buddies and stuff will throw $50, $100 on a football game. I can't think of one of them. Did the Hard Rock have it?
I did not see it.
Okay. All right.
Because it's technically a sports book. So I guess if it's only sports, I don't know if they would dip their toe into something like that with the election.
I was in Showtime Cards today on Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's certain places you pop by on Phillips. That's one that I always got to stop in. You got a little sin bin not too far back, not too far down the street from there, which I won't mention its name. I have no problem driving right past there, but I rolled in today because I wanted to get some boxes and some stuff. I'm stacking up some stuff and selling some stuff and whatever. And I bumped into a buddy over there who said he took the spread from 13.5 and went to 20.5. He's got the Jaguars need to win the game by 3 touchdowns on Sunday in order for him to win his bet. He gets it a much better percentage,
Right.
obviously.
Yeah, and
never heard of that before.
Yeah, you can do that on Hard Rock, but man, this game on Sunday, I could see the Titans scoring a garbage touchdown, like the game being 27-10, and the Titans still keeping their starters in and scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on it at all. And as a matter of fact, I despise 6-point, 7-point teases. But if I was to do something this weekend, I think this is the type of situation where a tease could come into play. You could lay that down on Denver. You could lay that down on Buffalo. You could lay that down on New England. Take any one of those 3 teams, play it with Jacksonville, and move it 7 points. Now, I almost never say that because, I remember I worked with Bob Kemp forever, who and he drilled it in my head. He says, it's tough enough to win one game gambling. Why would you have a tease and then all of a sudden turn around and ask yourself, can you win 2 games?
Yeah, and then some people will do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
parlays.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I saw something the other day, real quick. More than half the money that DraftKings and FanDuel collects are just from parlays alone.
I forgot to ask Max. Is he still in it?
No, the Rams. He has the Rams in that parlay.
Oh,
so the Seahawks won that Thursday night game and that
really
bounced him.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, because he had something that was
and he's the Steelers.
Absolutely sensational.
Yeah.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
I'm looking at some of this stuff that's coming. 4751 says we need an uncensored hour with you. Waste an hour on ESPN with McAfee gambling. He drops some other things, which you can probably find on Phillips Highway and F-bombs. Not on terrestrial radio. Also goes on to say Amit Patel would lose phone privileges. Very, very, very good. Hacker Nation. Now, you just stay here? Do you actually leave?
Every once in a while. It won't be as bad moving forward, but it was fun to do the Frangie show this week with Hayes Carline. You mentioned Bob Kemp. Arizona? Yeah. Phoenix?
Yeah, and it's been probably 4 or 5 years since I've spoken with him. I did his show out there, and I haven't heard a peep from him. I don't know if he's still on the air.
I want to say that I used to get him on before the Cardinals-Jaguars games when they would meet ever so often.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
yeah. You used to get Bob on?
Yeah, he was a fixture out in the Phoenix area.
Oh, yeah. And he was great. You know, forever he was heard here. He was on overnights in Chicago for 7 years. He came on after me. Actually, for about 5 of those years, and then Arnie Spanier came back, who I actually replaced. Arnie Spanier would come on.
I thought about you this morning. Now, obviously, it's going to be a lot of Jaguars, pretty much all Jaguars tonight, but usually on January the 2nd of any given year, I wake up and I think of Rick Ballou because it is the anniversary of 52-20 in New Orleans with Florida and Florida State.
Get out of here with
29
that. I'm having
years ago.
So much fun. I don't need to hear that.
It was good stuff.
Yeah, I went back twice that month. I went back a month later for to cover my first Super Bowl, and the Patriots lost to two former Jaguars.
The Packers, right? Desmond Howard and Andre Rison.
Desmond Howard, as soon as they took the lead, had the kick return, 100 yards, and Bad Moon Rising caught a big-time play and pass touchdown from, of course, Lord Favre. So, yeah, that was a rough month. Back then, I think there's no question about it. I was still absolutely a Patriots fan back in the mid-'90s. And I've said this often, whether I faked it or not, a lot of people get accused of faking stuff. When I really knew was the AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down, when I was on the sideline as a reporter, 100%, I had totally flipped and knew that I was a Jags fan.
Yeah, I was sick to my stomach that day. I was in Foxborough for that game. It was awful. The Patriots lost in 96 that got the Patriots to the Super Bowl against Green Bay. Underrated loss in Jaguar history. That one stung. Everybody talks about the Titans in 99, the Patriots in 17. That Patriots loss in 96 was a bad one, too.
Yeah, and I was at that game, too. That was my first year at the Ball. And remember, the lights went out for like 10 minutes in that game.
Yeah.
And the Jaguars, that was, I've said forever that the years that I was a sideline reporter, the coldest game I ever covered was in Nashville. Wasn't Buffalo, New England, any of those other games. But the coldest game I ever went to as a member of the media was that game there in the AFC Championship game in January of 1997.
Patriots have caused the Jaguars a lot of heartache in the postseason. Maybe Jacksonville will have a chance to return the favor this year.
No doubt. New England's dealt with a couple of injuries as of late. It's wide open. Okay, what do you have coming up tonight?
Yeah, obviously it's going to be all Jags. Huge game on Sunday. Chance to wrap up the AFC South. I was inside the Jaguar locker room. Had a one-on-one with defensive lineman Matt Dickerson. We'll play that. If you missed my conversations with Buster Brown and DeJuan Smoot, you will hear those tonight, as well as former Jaguar Cecil Shorts. So we're loaded till 10 o'clock, and it'll be all Jags tonight on Hacker After Dark.
Hacker, have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
All right, that'll do it for us. Have an outstanding weekend. Everyone listening, thanks for your participation on both the text line as well as YouTube. Always love it when you folks get in with your opinion. All right, that's going to do it. We're back Monday at 6 o'clock. Going to be a full week next week. We did have New Year's Day off. Next week, back to our regularly scheduled program, all 5 days. What a week it should be. Right here in Duval, Jacksonville wins. They host a playoff game next weekend. We'll see you at the bank Sunday at 1 o'clock. The next time I talk with you will be Monday at 6. For Dylan Denmark, my name is Rick Ballou. Have a safe weekend.